I think we've all been there as sports fans that, you know, our team at the end of a disappointing season, there's just been absolute shit. You say, fuck it, let's blow it up. Sell everyone, sell the entire team. And let's just start from scratch. I don't even care anymore. Well, what if you actually did that? What if you actually did that? What if you sold every single player on your team, liquidated all those assets, and then, with your total money, go out and buy a completely new team? So that's exactly what we're going to do today. So we're going to do the sell every single player on your team challenge. This is inspired heavily by JarradHD's accepting every transfer challenge series. Big up Sam, good friend of mine. Congrats on the 100K, by the way. The fat Asian sends his regards. I'll leave a link to his series in the description down below, as well as he'll be one of my end cards. Well, what we're going to do here is we're going to take the much maligned Arsenal, a team that pretty much, I can't even remember the last time they bought a player. Jokes, you guys bought Xhaka or whatever his face is. But I think Arsenal Fan TV might appreciate this. I am going to sell every single player on here who isn't on loan, all right? So Mesut Ozil, Seneca Zola, Alexis Sanchez, Danny Welbeck. I'm going to sell off all of them, man. I'm going to go ahead and accumulate all of that money, and then I'm going to rebuild the roster by buying new players. So unfortunately, I can't do this in career mode because you have to have like a minimum amount of people before you can start rebuilding from the bottom. But what I've done is I've done the math, and you gotta trust me, I'm Asian. I've done all the math. I've calculated every single one of these players' worth, and the total club worth player-wise for Arsenal is 489 million. And this is a squad that I created with 489 million. Now I know some of you guys might argue, well, if you're just taking the values off of SoFIFA.com, they're probably gonna be worth more in real life. Well, actually that argument will work both ways. It kind of evens out, because if we were to sell all of our players, we would also go ahead and sell them for higher prices as well. So I think, you know, depending on all the bargaining, it should reach to about even. But Arsenal fans, this is the squad you could have if you went ahead and just sold absolutely everyone on your team and bought a bunch of new players. Starting up top, let's stop messing around with all this Mbappe talk. Let's go ahead and get Lacazette, 85 rated striker, going ahead and leading your line. Behind him, no more Ozil, but you replace him with the brightest talent in Spain right now, and that is Asensio from Real Madrid. He came in, both of these players respectively. I think Asensio is 28.5 million, and then Lacazette is 42 million. So right there, just a small dent into your war case. Then out on the left side, no more dilly-dallying with any of those guys. You got Carrasco, 84 rated player from Atletico Madrid. He came in at 37 million, a pretty big name purchase. And then on the right side, F-Man City getting this talented, youngster from Monaco. You guys got Bernardo Silva, and he was one, he didn't come cheap either, 32.5 million. Two beefy midfielders from the Serie A. You got Raja Nangaland over here, who is worth 37.5 million, and then you have Hamsik, who's also worth 37.5 million, money well spent. In the back line, you have one of the best defenders in the Premier League, and that is Virgil van Dijk. He came in for 25.5 million. Then you have one of the best young defenders in the world, Rafael Varane, and he was very expensive, 35 million. The two fullbacks, I admittedly skimped a little bit on. Kurzawa is only 17 million, and then I believe Semedo over here is worth 16.5 million. And maybe the steal of this roster, you get Gigi Buffon for 9 million. That's because his age is so freaking high. This starting lineup alone costs 318 million. So what did I do with the remaining 171 million? Let's go ahead and take a look at the bench. First name off the bench, Gabriel Jesus, 17 freaking million. On a team with Lacazette, you have backing up behind him freaking Gabriel Jesus. You're welcome, Arsenal. Then the midfield backing up both Hamsik and Nangolan. He can pretty much play any position in the midfield. Is the new signee for Bayern Munich, and that is Quarantine Tolisso coming in at 81. He was not cheap though. He came in at 23.5 million. Then we have Barreca from Torino over here. He's 5 million. He's got good potential. AC Milan's Locatelli, a very, very nice, good, high potential youngster in the midfield. Again, played more of a CDM role, and he came in at a very, very cheap 4.5 million. Oh yeah, that's right. I picked up Mbappe Lawton. Yes, he's on this list as well. 17 million right here. Then next to him, the second most popular youngster from France, and that is Ousmane Dembele. He's on here. He was not cheap. He is 24 million. Then we have this cheap high potential Korean Kim Min-jae. He was 3.9 million. And then we go to the reserves. You have Yuri Talisman. He came in for 17 million. De Ligt, he came in for 3.5. Christian Pulisic, 8.5 million. Emery Moore. Yeah, we stole all the right mids from Borussia Dortmund. I ain't even mad. 2.6 million. Nice little steal right there. Backing up Gigi Buffon, you got Lafont, who was also pretty expensive at 9 million. You got Fosu Mensah backing up the right back position. He was only 2.8. You got Ozcan, very, very cheap right here. I just wanted another midfielder to go ahead and fill out the roster. He was, I think, 625k. And then you have Kluivert, 2.6 million out on the left side. And then you just have this old man. He's 77 rated. He only costs us 1.2 million. So with all those additions, that got me to 479 billion. So if you want to debate, you know, like ups and downs of the market and how much you could have sold people, I left 10 million on the table. So at this point, usually in an experiment, I would go ahead and I would just see what happens with this squad. But I was inspired by Jared, and I kind of like that he actually does type of transfers here. So this is what happens if I sold the whole entire team and just rebought a whole entire new team. But I still have the additional transfer kit that Arsenal has, so I can go ahead and make even further improvements to this squad throughout the season. So let's go through this opening window and see what happens. So as you can see right here, I got about 80 million to go ahead and add additions to this already stacked squad. The main place that we can strengthen is these two fullbacks position. They only have 80 overall, and then maybe one backup striker, a backup striker with a little bit more experience. You know, Jesus and Mbappe are fantastic, but they're still only hovering around the 80 mark. So I want to get maybe one more banger in here. So we're going to look to get better at our left back position. We're going to put Kurzawa up on the chopping block right there just to go ahead and buoy the deal. Kurzawa and 20 million for Alexandra. We're also going to go in for the likes of Serge Aurier, because I like Ruben Semedo though, to be honest. But maybe, you know, someone who can challenge him. Competition is always a good thing. We're also going to look to go ahead and bring in Alessandro Florenzi. I think at the striker position, we kind of have all the same type of striker, you know, quick, pacey, turn and pace, high agility, kind of jitterbug type strikers. Although Alexandra Lacazette can do a little bit of everything, I think bringing in maybe a big man, having someone to be able to knock it down and be a clinical finisher. Mario Mandzukic had a fantastic goal in the Champions League final that I think nobody's even going to remember. I remember that. Let's go ahead. Let's see if we can go ahead and grab him for a one-year rental. Enough of waiting and building for the next generation. I know Arsenal fans are sick and tired of that. Let's go ahead. Let's try to win it this year. And as a backup cam for Asensio, I'm thinking about bringing in Emil Forsberg from RB Leipzig. All right, here we go. Transfer offer accepted for Alexandro and Kurzawa for 20 million. Ooh, Paris want 37 for Serge Aurier, and then Roma want 32.5 million for Florenzi. I don't know, Semedo's pretty good. Do I do the gamble and just see if Semedo can handle it? I think I might just sit on it for a while. Forsberg though, 22 million. They're down to go ahead and give him up. Cash in on him. And there we go. Easy as that. Emil Forsberg, welcome to Arsenal. And Alexandro, welcome to Arsenal. See, Arsenal winger? It's that easy. Juventus have also accepted our offer for Mario Mandzukic. And wow. Okay. That happened a lot quicker than I thought it was going to take. As you can see right now, I am I'm on the 7th day. I'm on the 7th day of this career mode. I've made all the signings that I really need to make. Look at the squad now. The defense looks a lot more stout, especially with the likes of Alexandro back there. You know, 84, 83. Semedo, you're going to need some coverage. I'll switch out Nangaland so that he can go ahead and give you a bit more coverage on that side. And then Silva, Asensio behind him. He's got Forsberg, Tolisso, Talisman, and even Mandzukic can even play a little bit of the camp. So yeah. He'll be pulling double duty. Lacazette up there. I feel more comfortable now with that. We have Mandzukic in there behind Lacazette. And then you can kind of sprinkle in these bad boys of Mbappe and Jesus if they're rearing to go. And we're going to go in for John Anthony Brooks, who should be worth around 16 million. They want 25 for John Anthony Brooks. That is a lot of quiche. A lot of quiche. But he's not too expensive in the wages. And there we go. He actually does accept. So we're going to bring him in. I think we are done with this window, ladies and gentlemen. And alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and take this revamped team. I'm going to sim it to the end of the season and see what happens with totally new look Arsenal. Take it away, Joey Wheeler. Okay. We sit in June of 2017, and this bodes well for us because we are in the Champions League final. I don't know if I said this, but yeah, I just put it in for bands. We're in the Champions League final up against CSKA Moscow. Let's go ahead, let's sim forward. Let's get that through. Let's see who goes ahead and wins that one. Oh god. How? We lost 1-0 to Susuke Moscow. But that's not the big thing. It's very impressive that we actually even made it to the Champions League final. Especially if we totally revamped the squad. Let's see though where we ended up in the league. Let's go ahead and take a look at player stats first. Coutinho finished on top of the Premier League with 17 goals. No, Chelsea, Willian and Hazard finished 1 and 2. And it is Silva, Bernardo Silva, who finishes in 8th place for Arsenal. All right, let's go over to assists. And it's Hazard on top again. Silva also doing pretty well. Carrasco had 5. Clean sheets. Buffon is all the way down in 7th place. But as you can see, Lafont was actually in 12th. So, I mean, combined together, they tied for almost as much as Courtois. I don't think we won the league. I stand corrected. Arsenal must have been a great team effort because they have won the league. It was a poor, alright, this is a poor showing for the league this year because they won it with only 80 points. Goal differential was pretty darn good. Had, I believe, one of the better defenses in the league and then tied for the most goals scored of any team in the league along with Chelsea. This Arsenal team also did end up making it to the EFL final, but losing 4-1 to Manchester United. That's not all too pretty. And then, although we did lose in the Champions League final, which is heartbreaking, you can see that the path that they took wasn't all that easy. They beat Atletico Madrid 3-0, and then they eked out a win up against Bayer Leverkusen, and then they beat, oh my god, I cannot believe this, they beat Bayern Munich either on aggregate or on penalties, which is just unheard of. Well done, Arsenal. They've already gotten over the hump, and somehow we lost to Moscow, probably our easiest opponent in the final, which is a little bit sucker, but hey man, first year with a brand new squad, not bad at all. Let's go ahead, let's take a look at the stats. Unfortunately, Gigi Buffon is degrading, but as you can see right here, he made 37 appearances, 12 clean sheets. Alvin Lafont is almost up to an 80. He got 8 clean sheets. And oh my god, I don't even know if I've ever seen a player play this many games. Alex Sandro got up to an 86. He played 61 matches and as a left back scored 9 goals. Game changer. Whew. And Bernardo Silva had himself a season as well, playing 55 matches, netting 17 goals and 10 assists, along with 17 clean sheets. Ousmane Dembele had a decent season, got up to an 84. Carrasco had a decent season with 49 appearances, 17 goals, and 9 assists. While Asensio was the bigger name, Emil Forsberg actually had the better season with 10 goals and 3 assists. Alexander Lacazette had a kind of a disappointing season, 42 appearances, only netting 9 times and only having 5 assists. While comparatively, Gabriel Jesus only appeared 31 times, still netted 9, and had 4 assists. And Mbappe did not appear at all the whole entire season. See, there you go, Arsenal. That's all you gotta do. You just gotta go ahead, sell every single player that you owed, totally rebuy your whole entire team, and you'll win the league and get to the Champions League final. But hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you did, you know, go ahead, smush your nipple into the like button. Give me suggestions. What did you like about this new type of challenge concept? What can I change to go ahead and make it better? But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. If you want to go ahead and check out my kick-ass career mode, go ahead and click over here, Dings Poos. If you want to check out my latest FIFA 17 experiment, go ahead and click over here, Dingsy Poos. My name's Mimon. So hopefully you guys are having a wonderful day. Remember, stay yourself, stay humble, and be weird.